Let's fucking go. You are listening to the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.
Whoa! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That mean you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand.
And welcome. It is Wednesday, hump day once again. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy. And joining me behind the controls, he's got it all under control, is Leo. You got some new sunglasses there, bro? Or no?
Oh, yes, I did. I got them a few weeks ago. My dad decided to give me some sunglasses, so.
It looks like he did pretty well.
Oh, yeah, these, I love the glasses. I'm not going to lie. I don't know.
Yeah, man, I'm all about that shit.
It's the,
I have a bunch of basic glasses, and then I like that tint for you, man.
A little bit more of the Miami kind of style
that's
to
a
it,
little gangster look, man. I like that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've received a lot more. It was weird because when I went in there, I was looking for a very specific type of shade. But apparently these are like A$AP Rocky's like line or whatever.
Oh,
I didn't know that when I first bought them, but when I took them out of the box and I had
you had
the A$AP on it, I was like, oh, all right. That kind of makes sense. The aesthetic kind of fits to it too.
Isn't he the one that Trump helped get out of trouble in Europe or something?
No, that was 21 Savage.
That was okay. I can't keep it straight, but I knew it was somebody. No, I wasn't close. It's interesting because Dawn's son, when he was here in the fall last year, he left a pair of sunglasses in the SUV, in the Range Rover, and they were square shape, not exactly aviator style, but more close aviator style, and they were just gas station sunglasses, So I bought him a pair and sent it to him, and I told him I took the privilege of throwing his other ones away. But I actually was able to, through ChatGPT, search several brands and came up, I think it was finally with the Ray-Ban, that was the closest fitting style, because sunglasses aren't easy to buy someone. So he's a big dude. I wanted him to fit and have the same width, and I gave the description, and he loves them. And in fact, you know what? That made me smile. I didn't tell you this either. So it made me smile that my dad, when I was visiting my dad, and we took his vehicle when we went around, because we could put his motorized scooter thing in there, right? And I looked down, and in between the seats there, and I saw he had his sunglasses that I bought him, I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years. I just wanted my dad to have, because he would never in his 80 years ever buy something like that for himself, ever, or even think about it, But I'm like, he still has those. I didn't say anything to him about it, but I was like, damn.
It was a good feeling knowing that he keeps them around.
Yeah, it made me feel good. Yeah, so that's cool. Cool on your dad. I like that. Couch is empty. And so the couch is going to be empty till we fill it again, because, I don't hold anything back. I don't give two fucks. Here's what I think. I think, I'm all about chances, giving people a chance. I've had multiple chances in my life. I don't know if I've ever... I don't know if I've ever really gotten the same help that I give, and I guess that doesn't matter. I don't know if it does. I guess that would be like a therapy session or something, or maybe a few. I don't know. But it does frustrate me some, because I do things like that, take somebody under your wing a little bit and, want to show them But here's the thing. I've got this employee, Brendan, and I don't know if Brendan knows this or not. He probably does. But about 6 months in to Brendan working for me, I was like getting a little frustrated, and I was like, this is not going to work. He is not going to make it. And not only did he make it, but he's young too. He's
Very young.
he's like 22 now,
Yeah.
and he's been with me for a couple years. So, there was, I don't know, maybe there was a little pressure on him, but so what? It's just life.
Part of that's what I said. Part of life. Everything's gonna include pressure with it.
Yeah. And he had done some manual labor stuff, which was all cool, and totally respect that. But like me, he, it's not something he really wanted to do for a long period of time. If you've done that kind of thing, that's
100%. That can be
yeah,
rough on the
in
body.
Arizona. And the thing was, I didn't have enough work for him when he started. I needed a second person, but I didn't necessarily need somebody, 40 hours to do the business side of work that I needed done. And I think I might have started him out, part-time for a few weeks or maybe a month, but it didn't last long. I had him full-time, and I know he needed the money. I was hoping it was going to work out. So I, wanted to keep him around to see. So I gave him other work, and he became almost like a personal assistant and stuff to me. And he still does that today, just doing some shit taking shit off my plate that I don't want to do. And that's been good. But, he worked into it, and he was willing to do it because it was better than,
doing all that
taking
construction.
or running a weed whacker over shrubs. Those guys work hard. You've never seen landscaping work like you see in Arizona.
Yeah.
I mean, we had that back in Ohio, but not like these guys. These guys are year-round shit. And yes, summer's a little bit more, but it's a lot all the time, everywhere.
Is
right?
that not a common thing around the U.S.?
I don't know. I'm just telling you in Ohio that we didn't have the number of people
out.
You would have maybe like what I did is, I'd pay somebody or a service and pay somebody to cut my grass and stuff. And
but you didn't have any like.
They might do the shrubs a couple times a year, Here, I get my shrubs and everything done like every 2 months. And I could probably do every month. Some people do every month, but I do every 2 months. And, and he did that stuff for me for a minute because but now I have him too busy for that. So
you
I
have
had to
him
get
hire
somebody
someone
else. Kind of like that. But there were opportunities. In fact, there was an opportunity working with me that I had actually offered to a number of different people that were friends of mine. And I don't know, I've had mixed results hiring people that I'm friends with. But people talked about it, but nobody ever took me up on, okay, let's go. Because I had a certain thing I wanted done, and I didn't know all the things that were going to go into it, but I knew what the result needed to be. And I gave it to Brendan. I'm saying, here, I don't have much time to help you, but this is what you need to do. You need to do the research on this and figure out what's needed to accomplish this task. And if there's money needed to do something, well, then I'm that dude. I'm the guy. You come to me, we talk about what we need, and, kind of like what we did starting the podcast and equipment and stuff. Of like, what do you need?
And I was like, I'll find out.
we just pieced it together, and we kept piecing it together. And that's kind of what Brendan and I did. And he's made himself super valuable now. I don't know if I should say that or not, but I'm going to. He's made himself super valuable now. From at one point being, I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but his maturity level too. since he's had that responsibility and he's taken it and now just run with it. That's what I basically did. You know, I was like the quarterback. I handed it off to him and he ran with the ball. And it was on him to do, and he did, and now he's being compensated for it, you know? That's kind of how it goes. You know, I don't there's certain things I don't want to show people how to do because maybe what I'm needing, I don't know how to show them anyways. I didn't know there's nothing I could do to help you record the show and put it online anywhere, you know, that kind of thing too. And it just takes that. And I have a very low tolerance for like just bullshit. I have even less tolerance when when somebody really needs the money. Somebody really needs the money and you're like, okay, what are you doing? I don't have sympathy for sure. And I don't really have any empathy either. I've never been a super empathetic guy anyways, is probably what most people would say, that I don't exude that characteristic very well or very often. But there's a reason for it because I've motherfucking been there, man. I've been there. My story is how many people have, you know, done what I've done and then went through similar things that I went through. I mean, I maybe have shared it once, but I was actually at one time, I was actually a high school dropout. And I probably 90% of the people in my life do not know that. High school dropout. I dropped out at the end of my junior year because I kept getting kicked out of school for fighting. And I had already been kicked out like 30 days. I had like 3 10-day suspensions, and I had another one looking at me in the face, and I was just finally, fuck you. And my parents totally blew it. Okay, so, I'm just going to be honest.
I was about to say you walked in there and said, "You know what? I'll take care of this. I'll just leave.
I'll just leave." But when you're not 18, your parents have to give permission.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And I don't know what my parents were thinking, because I would have never done this for me if I was a parent. I'd have been, boy, get the fuck in there,
school.
Get the fuck there, and like, there's no choice. You don't get an alternative choice, you know, unless you want to be emancipated. Because I ain't taking responsibility for your ass. You can emancipate you and you can go out and do things. You're not living here. I'll give you that choice. How's that sound? You know what I mean? So I don't know what my parents were thinking, but they signed off on it. And I quit school. I was working at the time. And from the day I turned 16, in fact, on the day I turned 16, I believe it was a Saturday. This has always stood out in my mind. That there was a pizza crust factory in town, and my dad got me a job at the pizza crust factory. He knew the manager of the plant, and everybody knew everybody.
So was that shortly after leaving school?
No, this is before leaving school.
Oh, before leaving school.
So yeah, this is before leaving school. You know, maybe slightly a year before, about a year before.
Okay.
And I'm working. Well, obviously, if I start working in April when I turn 16, you know, I worked that whole summer. I would pull doubles, you know, I would do, you know, and we pulled doubles. We usually wasn't a couple hours staying over. It's like I would do the midnight shift or something. And then I would stay during the day or something. But then
making pizza crust the entire time?
Yeah.
God damn.
Machines. And it was counting and packaging
but still,
it smelled, dude.
That's what I was gonna say. The smell, just the smell all day long for that.
Clothes smelled, Jesus. Everything fucking smelled. And then when school started, I was working from 3:30 to midnight because we didn't get paid for lunch, so that's why it was 3:30 to midnight. And then be up and go to school the next day and get off at like 2:15 and drive to work. And on Saturdays, Usually Saturdays the plant didn't operate, but sometimes if there were orders, we would operate on Saturday. And the plant was operating on my first day like that. But usually I was still there for 4 hours on Saturday anyways, because we cleaned the place. We just sprayed the whole place down and just, did that. Me and my cousins. I had cousins that worked there. An uncle that really wasn't my uncle. He was a cousin, it was kind of like I said, everybody knew everybody. It's Genoa. It's a tiny fucking town. And I worked that 4 hours because we were getting $3.35 an hour. There was a woman there that had been there 10 years. She was easy, give or take around 60. And she worked on the ovens. And that's where the crusts come out. And they come out on this pan, and she had to knock them off and put them on the conveyor belt where they would cool down before we'd count them, right? But those pans are fucking hot. Okay, they just went through a big, giant motherfucking oven, all right? So, and they were cloth gloves, and sometimes they'd get greasy, and you'd have to double up on them, and it was hot over it. And in Ohio, in the summer, it's fucking 90 degrees and 90% humidity, It's not... After 10 years, dude, she was making $4.10 an hour.
$4.10 an hour.
And minimum wage was $3.35, and she was making, after 10 years, making $4.10. So basically getting a nickel to 10 cents an hour raise for 10 years. And not even 10 cents full, because that would have been $4.35, not $4.10, right? So some years, pennies. I don't know. They didn't even give her 10 cents.
That is crazy to me.
And the overtime, because this wasn't a union, the overtime was time and a half after 40, not after 8. See, if you work a union job, let's say you have a day off, you take a day off, a sick day or whatever, but there's another day that you work 12 hours. You're getting time and a half on that 4.5 hours, or that 4 hours. You're getting time and a half if it's over 8. That's how union jobs are.
Oh, you said, okay. It confused me because you said it wasn't union. Okay, gotcha.
And I know that because I've worked union too for a very short period of time, but so which is better.
So you would have to work 40 hours first, and then anything additional?
Over it, yeah.
That's an interesting way to, honestly kind of makes sense.
That's the way most of them do it. But I'm just saying,
but also the union thing, I feel like would probably be better.
They were like bottom of the barrel in pay, and so, but I did it, and I worked it because I wanted that.
Those $4.10.
Well, what's $3.35? It's over $5.
Gotcha.
It's like almost $5.50, right?
Okay.
Is what time and a half is. I wanted that $5.50, man.
Yep.
Which even then was, I don't know, basically, a meal at McDonald's on the dollar menu. Okay,
it still was not a lot of money. Like
not a lot of money.
I know there's a little bit of inflation over these past few years, but that's still not.
And then somebody that a teacher, name was Russ Nolan. Russ Nolan changed my life. He had a big impact on me. He was asked by one of my cousins and my dad to come talk to me. And he comes and talks to me, and he says, Troy, I've already worked it all out. If you come back to school, you can be in my class. You go class half a day, and you work the rest. And then you can graduate on time. He said, you have enough credits, even though I didn't get shit for credits my junior year. He said, because you took college prep courses your freshman and sophomore year, you have enough credits, you can still graduate on time with your class. And, me not being a total idiot, I was like, cool, all right, I'll come back and I'll do that. And he had never had a student like me, because this class, we always got teased people in this class that it was for the dumb kids or something. Turns out that people in that class did a lot better than a whole lot of other people.
It was more of an effort thing, not necessarily a
well,
knowledge thing.
I had a neighbor from down the street that he was in the class that he got labeled like that. And he started like construction, some kind of construction and trucks. And He passed away young in his 30s. But at the time he passed away, his business was probably worth, I don't know, 5-6 million, something, but he was considered dumb.
Yeah.
But this is the kid who, I love to tell this story. When we were younger, he took a John Deere lawnmower,
Okay.
put a plow on it, made by hand, made a cab for it to fit over top. And you got to realize this is 79, 80, 81, somewhere in there.
Okay.
He put solar panels on it to fucking heat it. I don't know.
Where'd you even get solar panels back
I don't
then?
know. But this kid, as a teenager, could tear shit apart. The problem was he was always in trouble with the law because to tear shit apart, he had to steal tools from your dad's garage. And they finally caught him. And so, his dad really wasn't in his life. So his, mom was a single mom. He had an older brother. I think they had different dads. I don't know. But both of them good people. And he actually, I don't know, I just picture him with a spoon. This dude dug a tunnel and built a room under the garage and electrified it, put electricity. And this is the dumb kid, dude.
With the spoon.
I don't know what he used.
Okay.
But he had to, how do you move all this dirt?
Gotcha.
How long does that fucking take to dig that, man?
A few years?
I don't care. I don't know. But he did it, man, because he was kind of like a hermit. He would go and he didn't run around with a bunch of people, He
was a more to himself kind of thing, but
yeah, I think I smoked weed with him in high school a couple times. Of course he smoked weed.
I was about to say that's definitely some stoner activities.
Yeah. Just get stoned, move some dirt. You guess. I don't know. But
I might have to make that a shirt. Get stoned, move some dirt.
But it was really an amazing story. It really was a cool kid. That just goes to show how back in the 70s and 80s, they started pigeonholing kids. And they used these standardized tests to say, well, you should be in this class. And I was usually in the top class. But there was one time in 5th grade in math, and this is still bugs me today, because that's why I'm talking about it right now, is they put me in the second highest math classes. There were 3 different classes. They put me in the middle one. And for a whole quarter, I got 100%. On homework, on tests, 100%. I didn't get a single problem wrong. And I couldn't get moved up to the higher class.
Oh, you wanted to get moved up to the higher class?
Yeah, I did. In fact, it was either 5th or 6th grade. Yeah. Fuck yeah, I did. I wanted to get, why? Because that's where all my friends were.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And
so it wasn't necessarily because of the math.
And they did that in reading too. And I have great reading comprehension skills. And so then for like a whole quarter or something, they separated me and my big sister Joni. They separated 2 or 3 of us, and we were given like extra stuff. And then next quarter, they moved us into the higher class. But I'm just saying they would pigeonhole kids that way. And you know what kids tend to do? That it's been proven in studies? They tend to live up to expectations.
If it's set up properly, yeah.
Yeah.
It motivates.
But so the opposite too. If your expectations are shit, or this kid's never going to make it, and you set a low bar for that kid, he's probably going to do that because that's what he was told. He was told, I'm not good enough. I can't do that. They must know it's an adult. They must know something I don't know, right? It works both ways. Maybe you should think about that a little bit. So that's why education was so important with me, with my daughter, just super important. From the day she was fucking born, that's all, like, where is she going to go? Where is she going to go to daycare when she's ready for daycare? Where is she going to go to kindergarten? Where's she going to go to school? And that, I just wanted to do anything to give her the opportunities that I wished I had. I was jealous. When I was a kid, I wanted to go to private school because there was one private school near us that had a really good wrestling team. And after junior high, I did wrestling. I did wrestling in my 8th grade year. And then in high school, I loved it. And that's where all the champions were. I wanted to go there, compete with those guys. But I didn't have that opportunity, but I was able to do that for my daughter, and I think it was been very well worthwhile for sure, the education. So yeah, I was a high school dropout. Then I opened a restaurant, and I didn't do really great. Just, what is a 20-year-old kid doing opening a restaurant? But I did. And I just wasn't making enough money to do what I needed or wanted to do. And so my parents bought the restaurant. And then later on down the road, my sister bought the restaurant from my parents. She still operates it today. When I was back in Ohio, we ate there a couple times. Things were all good. Best coffee in the world. So, yeah, so I did that. Then I was fumbling around trying to find some kind of sales thing. Like selling water systems, which is big here.
Filtration systems and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I actually plan on getting an osmosis kind of filtration system
Yeah.
coming up here soon. So yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I had that in the place here. And you have to have at least a softener, or you should have at least a softener.
If you live in the U.S.,
Well, especially in Arizona. Trust me, it's worse.
Especially if you live in Arizona.
Yes, for sure.
You were saying sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So I tried that. It was crazy. And then I started pursuing financial opportunities, interviewing with insurance companies and brokerage firms and taking their tests. I actually out of high school before that happened, before I did the restaurant, I worked retail with Value City.
Yes.
And I actually did very well at that. Very well. I thought I was going to do that my whole life. And then I left that because I was homesick and I didn't like the other manager, and that was that. Every choice we make, there's consequences. Every choice we make, there's consequences, good or bad. There's gonna be a resulting outcome, and you got to live with it. Well, there was not really any going back, to that exactly, and nor did I even try after the restaurant to go back into retail. But the financial interested me, and eventually I found a back door in. I found a company that took me and allowed me to get my Series 7 license right away and my insurance licenses. And, a lot of places, if they were insurance company, they didn't want you to have a Series 7, which was stock brokerage type thing. They wanted you to have a Series 6, which was mutual funds. But then they also knew you couldn't go to a big brokerage firm like Merrill Lynch and leave them because you didn't have the license. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So
they knew what they were
banks
doing.
do that too.
Yes, they do.
They push everybody to Series 6 first.
Gotta lock in some people before they can get some money.
And you got to just really, it's best to be studying for that shit, to go all in and just do it. So there was that. And I almost failed at that. In fact, I would say I was failing for a few years. I was failing at that. And then I was able to turn it around because of marketing. I learned how to market. I learned how to get people to sit in front of me. And because it didn't matter how good a financial advisor I was, it didn't matter what I knew, it didn't matter what kind of portfolios I built. None of that mattered if you don't have somebody to do it for. It's just that simple. If you don't have somebody to do it for, you're going to be broke. And then there could be this other guy, because he gets on the TV news at noon and he gets a 3 or 4 minute segment, at noon, a few days a week. That dude's making a shit ton of money, but he actually sucks as a financial advisor. There's that too. I didn't want either. I wanted to not suck, and I wanted clients to do it for. And I built that up, and then, I made other choices. I made other choices that, the outcomes were not good. I didn't tank my career being an alcoholic necessarily, but I almost did by by getting a DUI and things. And yeah, it was not good. My client stayed with me, but that was not good to have a financial advisor, you know, flashing on the 6 o'clock news story at 11. You know, that was not good. And then I joined an outlaw motorcycle club, of all things. And just being in that situation, around certain situations that are going to dictate that probably some not very good things are going to happen. And I was actually doing well financially at the time. I was actually doing very well financially at the time. But somebody owed me some money. I was helping somebody. Somebody owed me some money. And I went to collect. And then me collecting that money resulted in another news at 6 kind of a thing. And I ended up losing my license over it. Me losing my financial business had nothing to do with what I did as a financial advisor. It was all bad personal choices and shit that I made. And, you know, I had to live with those consequences. And from that, you know, I went down to nothing, broke. I mean, you couldn't get more broke. I mean, every bill was 2 or 3 months late. Everyone, you know, I gave just enough to keep the lights from being turned off, or, you know, my phone from being turned off. What's the minimum I could do to keep shit on? I sold shit. People took advantage of me, and I would have done the same thing. Okay. They knew Troy needed the money. Look, when you don't have leverage like that, you know,
kind of have to expect it.
You kind of have to expect it.
Especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
Like, it was a completely different thing when you had to go through that. But nowadays, especially, people are going to get extra greedy because they know.
Oh, for sure.
They can.
They know they can. And, yeah. So I had to be willing to do whatever. And I did. I did that. You know, one of the things I did for a little extra cash, I've not said very many times. I hooked up with a young guy that was in his 20s, and he had a still. He made a still in his garage.
Okay.
And so he was making moonshine.
Ooh.
And right about then, I don't know if you remember this or this is a little before your time, but it's not that long ago, but about 12 years ago or something like that. There were some TV shows, some reality shows on moonshining that were popular.
Yes. I have. Yeah.
So at that time, it was like moonshine had a resurgence. It had popular, right? And people liked what was it? Apple pie.
Apple pie, really? Okay.
Apple pie was a big moonshine taste that people liked. But most people that made it, they would get this really super strong. I don't even know what the name of the alcohol was, but they would get this real strong alcohol from Indiana, and they mixed it with it and made apple pie that way. And you're actually putting apple slices in it and stuff. You know, it's in the bottle.
Yeah.
But not ours. Ours was real legit moonshine. It wasn't, you know, some other alcohol. And I would say probably the alcohol content, we were probably pushing no less than 120 and maybe like 140. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell no.
It was strong.
Oh, hell.
And most people didn't, you know, and you got to remember, so at this time, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm not even drinking. I didn't even drink my own moonshine.
That's crazy to me, actually. I didn't, you know, because I didn't put that together.
Yeah. But he knew I knew people, and, you know, I'd go to certain parties, and I'd be, you know, I was in an outlaw motorcycle club. So
you knew a few people that
I knew a few people that would really like that. And actually women liked it. Craziest thing, women liked it. And cherry was a big one. But yeah, women if you could get women to drink a moonshine, you know it's good.
It's good. Oh yeah.
Because
that shit's fucking
they
gasoline.
Don't like. Yes, exactly. It's exactly that. And yeah, I even sold that. I'd take, you know, some quarts and some pints, throw them in my bike and go to a party.
I bet that was a nice side hustle.
It wasn't a huge side hustle, but
it was.
But I did everything. everything. I sold the pool heater on my pool. Okay? Like everything. I did whatever I had to do, which included, as I've shared multiple times, pushing a wheelbarrow for $15 an hour under the table. Dirt. Moving dirt. And I wasn't high. And I was moving dirt. Okay? Paul, he was high when he moved dirt.
High before you move dirt,
like,
Troy.
I was not high.
Make it a lot more enjoyable.
Dude, stone cold sober, pushing dirt in your mid-40s. Dude, that just sucks ass. And then when you've been to where I've been or reached a level that I've reached that nobody else financially really in my family had ever done anything like it, and then you just lose it all and you start over.
Was I know this is I don't mean to get super sidetracked, but do you remember back during when you were having to go through all that? Like what was your mental like back then? Like what were you more of like trying to grind it out, or was there like obviously like I don't know, most people would feel very upset to have been able to live that lifestyle and then have to be in that position where you're pushing that wheelbarrow.
Because I felt I was done wrong too. I felt like my business was stolen from me and that I should have been paid for it. And you know, I feel like I was backstabbed by another guy that worked for me. I mean, I basically took this kid out of college. He had a degree and he was moving furniture and, you know, helped him become a financial advisor. And he didn't have to worry about getting clients. He just had to worry about mine. And he never had to worry about getting clients later because he had my clients. So it was just like, yeah, I was, but here's the thing. I would think about it, but only for a short period of time. Very short, because I just decided to just keep going forward. You know, I had pursued a little bit, looking into trying to sue the company. And, you know, these attorneys are telling me how hard it's going to be. And yeah, I should have just done it anyways. I don't know. But that's the thing is I didn't. So I didn't. That's what happened. And I would just grind it out. If I focused on that, I was just going to become a victim. And just, so was I happy at the time? Was my mental state? No, I wasn't in a great mental state. And if you cross my paths around that time, you know, and me being in the club and stuff, like, yeah, that was not a good combination, man. But, you know, that's my story of God and redemption, though, too. That's what situation I was in. And I believe some things happened that when I was in the club that were like weird and should not have happened and weren't really how things operate. And the only reason it could happen that way, for it to make sense, is the hand of God removing me from that situation. That usually, I don't think that happens all the time. I think a lot of the time, God's just going to let you go through it. And he let me go through it, but I also believe he set circumstances up to where I had no choice but to walk away.
To follow a certain direction.
To walk away and go a different direction. And it just didn't make sense to me at the time, and I wasn't happy about that. But now I know more about what that was all about, you know, and that it was God in my life saying, Troy, this is not, dude. You've been fucking around, you know, since you were a high school teenager, and I had plans for you, and dude, you're just fucking it all up. That's kind of how it was, and I got a different journey, and I've been living that journey ever since. But again, being broke. So if somebody else is broke, or somebody else is, you know, needs money and they don't have it, okay, what are you going to do? You going to cry about it? You going to get on Facebook and bitch about the president? That's why I always say, I'm not saying that people aren't right. You know, even with what's going on right now this week, they just released the CPI numbers, the Consumer Price Index, and they're showing that little bit of inflation creeping up. But here's the thing they do. They always say, excluding food and energy, Well, who the I thought this is a financial advisor too. Who the fuck gets to exclude food and energy? That's the number one thing for most people. Okay? Not other consumer goods. Because you're not buying those other consumer goods unless it's on credit, right? If you aren't paying for the food and the energy. That's where it hits their pockets the hardest immediately. If you want to benefit the middle class like Trump did his first term, he brought gas prices way down. And then, this time he was bringing them down. And in the middle of it, now we're in the Iran war. You could think what you want of it. It is what it is. Trump made some remarks yesterday that weren't very smart in the way that he phrased it. He basically was asked a question about people and their financial situations, and is that influencing, him handling the Iran war? And he basically said, well, I don't care. I don't think about anybody's finances. I don't think about it at all. I'm just focused on the Iran. And I understood what he was saying.
But the way it came off.
But the way it sounded, and I'm not making excuses for him, but I know that he does actually care, but it sounded bad. And the problem with it sounding bad is the other side is going to take that and weaponize it and beat you up for a couple days. And that's what you're going to hear on the news now is Trump doesn't care. He's out of touch. Now, that's not it. It's just that the main thing is the main thing right at the moment. And I think it's great that he's headed over to China right now with a bunch of big dogs from the U.S. This is the most gangster move in like a long time. This is like you got the Godfathers meeting, and then you got all the capos and stuff. This is like an international mafia meeting because you got Xi over in China, and then you got Trump. And then Trump's bringing all his capos with him. He's bringing Elon Musk. He's bringing the CEO of...
Are they friends again? Gotcha. That's not the name I was expecting you to say. I'll be honest with you.
He's bringing the CEO of NVIDIA. He's bringing Apple's CEO, Tim.
Okay, so
Tim's
it's
coming.
a lot of technology, like big technology heads.
Yes, man.
Gotcha.
Like, this is big. This is a big deal going with it. I don't know if a president has ever done this. To meet with a foreign power, sometimes enemy like this, ever. Not with Russia, not with China. Like, it's a big deal. I'm interested in seeing what's going to play out of this.
I'm actually really interested because I thought you were going to
because it could influence the Iran war too.
I thought you were going to start listing people off like JD Vance and like Cruz stuff, people like that.
No,
that was not
business
I was
people,
not expecting
man.
business
Trump
people.
wants to make some big splash, some kind of deal that he can come back and say this is going to help the American people and long run. But I think that's what he wants. I think Trump doesn't care. It's not that Trump loves dictators. It's just as long as they're a dictator that's not fucking with him or want to chant to death with America, then he don't give a shit about them. Like, it's your country, it's whatever you do, you're good. But if you do fuck with us, we're gonna come and snatch you out in your pajamas and turn your country over to somewhere else. Okay. But what he really wants is he wanted Venezuela to be better. There was a time, 20 years ago, Venezuela was thriving, man. That oil meant something and the people were thriving. And then you had Maduro take over and just crush the whole country. And that's what socialism does. But anyways, yeah, I think Trump wants everybody. He's like, hey, if you stop fucking around with Ukraine, maybe we can all just make deals that'll make money for everybody. You need these minerals. I need these minerals. You can supply this. How about we just all make life better for our people? And I honestly think that's what he thinks in the big picture. And what he's trying to do is the hardest fucking thing in the world. Just so fucking hard. But if he pulls it off, and here's the thing too, the other side, they can't root for him. We keep complaining, we keep complaining that you have these Democrats that are rooting for the president, rooting for the United States to fail. They have no other fucking choice. Because if he pulls this off, It's the greatest move ever. and normal people will give him credit, and they can't have that happen. They can't have it happen. They can't have it happen where a majority of the people, 65, 70%, say, he did pretty good. It was a rocky road, but like I can see the picture now and it's coming together, and wow. They can't afford that to happen because they care about their own power more than they do the benefit of the people. That's how I think about that. And for yourself, individually, like myself, there's nothing we can do right now. There's no other choice. Things that are costing more, you can either cut back on what you're buying, choose to buy different products, right? You can choose to not go as many places. You can, or you know what else you can do? Make more money.
That's the one I was waiting for.
Yeah, you can make more money. I just heard today that millennials, I guess, or Generation Z, one of the two, maybe it was Generation Z, that they're working 2 or 3 part-time jobs. And, upon hearing this, I was in the bathroom getting ready, and I just heard them talking about it, and I just kind of went, yeah. See, it may be harder than it was 5 years ago, 10 years. Maybe it's not. When it was really fucking hard? Probably when you had to, walk a couple football fields and bring fucking water to your tub or to mom. Okay, that's when it was probably hard. All right, it's all relative, but it is what it is. We all go through shit. My generation went through shit. Other generations, some generations, they were born into war, World War II. They were sent off. So everybody goes through shit. You just gotta put your head down and go. Otherwise, you're just a victim. Otherwise, you're just fucking complaining and bitching about the man. So I'll give you this. Worst case scenario. If you talk, we'll give you 8 hours of sleep, and then we'll give you another 2 hours. So that's 10 hours. That means there's 14 hours left. Okay? You got 14 hours to make money. 14. If you want to do what Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say is sleep faster, get only 6 hours of sleep, and do it, then you can get yourself another couple hours, right?
I've never heard of that before.
Oh yeah,
sleep faster.
Sleep faster. He said, he's got this whole speech that he gives, and he's dividing up the day and how you have time to work out, you're just not working out, and he's just dividing up the day, and he goes to them. Some people say sleep 8 hours. No, 6 hours. Sleep faster. And I can tell you, I've tried to do that for a good number of years, and now that I'm 58, that fucking shit caught up with me. That's how I'm feeling right now. That shit motherfucking caught up with me. I can't explain it any other way. So I'm working through that now. Me and sleep. Fuck. But that's the choice. If things right now, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I have a good client base. The business is good. I'm blessed. And if I want to go out to eat, I can go out to eat. I don't have to cut back. Although I have grilled 2 of the last 4 nights. Or actually 3. I grilled some barbecue chicken, and then I've also grilled some burger, but twice some nice steaks. But these were prime steaks. These steaks were like $20-25 a piece. So they were the good Costco shit that's got the little gold stamp on it. Yeah.
Oh.
But still, if I wanted to do that, if I was feeling a crunch, I could still eat like that and not drop $400 or $500, at for one night for 2 people at a restaurant. I could still, that one restaurant night will buy me steak for the whole fucking week of the very best steak. So I'm not saying I'm just saying I'm blessed that I don't have to make adjustments. But I've been there where I had to make adjustments. Back when things were difficult and I was hustling everything, the other thing I did, and this is a story, by the way, that we can get into if we're going to touch on any of these stories today. But there is a story about food stamp fraud. And I've told you before, I used to pay 60 cents on the dollar for whatever somebody had on their card. So what would happen is it was better when it was food stamps, like really food stamps, because you could just trade that shit. But this, you'd get somebody's card, you'd dial the number to see how much was on it, and then you pay them or use whatever on the card you agreed to, and then you'd go spend it, and then you'd give them the card back, is what you would do. But a 40% discount and go to the meat market, and I did that driving an Escalade. That's what I always said. It's always funny. The people that everybody was complaining about using food stamps and driving, you'd see them at the food market or shit like that.
Driving these nice ass cars. Yeah.
Yeah. That was me. Because I was hustling. The vehicle was paid off, so to speak. So that's another story that I am not telling on here.
We do have a few comments that I did want to read off before we get a little too more into it. First one was from Father Time 1776. First thing in the morning, he said, "Y'all are my gym bros this morning." Then we had Bob.
Get it in, lift hard,
good
man.
Old Bob. Said when Brendan picked me up when Brendan picked me and Cindy up at the airport, I could tell by his demeanor he was a good dude. Definitely. And then looks like a little bit later, Bob also said, "Tough love and hard corpse is what guys like us needed and use." That being said, that gives us empathy. You are more empathetic than you give yourself credit for. Love you, bro.
Well, thanks.
Then we
appreciate
have
that.
2 more from Father Time
All
saying,
right.
"Holy shit, I remember you asking me if I needed moonshine." and then Father Time just agreeing with what Bob said earlier. And then Bob just commented again saying, "So much similar, quote unquote, hustles."
Yeah. Just hustle whatever I had to do, man. That was what was the other choice. I wanted to still eat steak when I was broke. So I hustled some food stamp money up. It is what it is, man. I know about the grind. So I just don't have, tolerance for just bullshit, especially when, somebody's not 16 or 17 anymore. I don't want to hear about your fucking car. I just don't want to hear it. Car not starting or your 2 choices is to work or not to work and just whine about being broke. And maybe it's not enough right now, but it is what it is. You know what it is more than? It's more than nothing. It's more than nothing. And who makes that choice? I would rather have nothing than work for this and try to build an opportunity for myself. I just don't have that. And that's the situation. And here's the thing. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't have to do this. Now, I want to keep doing this. I'm pretty sure Leo wants me to keep doing this right now. But I'm just saying, if it all came down to it, I don't have to do this to live and live the lifestyle that I live and do the things I don't have to do it. I can turn my fucking camera around and start filming videos in my fucking kitchen again. I can do that. But I choose to do this because it's another task. It's something else I want to build. And I was willing to take the risk. I mean, talk about, somebody's getting more than nothing, my debit sheet on the podcast, I'm in the motherfucking red. Okay, I'm down here. I'm losing money doing this. So Troy, why would you do it? Because I know what it takes to do this. And I know how long it takes most people to do it. And I may or may not make it then. Or I might make it a year after most other people do, or 2 years. It took me pretty much 7 years in the financial business to really start moving up and really making some
decent money,
up into the six figure kind of money. Yeah, that's what it took. And I saw other people do it faster than me. I saw them. But then once I did get there, man, I was in the top 10 for like 10 straight years. And got as high as number 2. And the people that were number 1 was a team of 2 guys. If you'd have taken their money that they generated that year and split it 50% between them, I would have been number 1. That's why I was like, what the fuck is this?
Vaccine bullshit.
This is bullshit. Fuckers ain't number 1. You beat me by teaming up. There's 2 of you. Get the fuck out of here. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter. They knew. They were there in suits, and I was there in T-shirt and boots.
Rolling up in the chopper.
That's it, man. That's what you got to do. And I'm all about doing it and doing the grind. And that's what people see. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing here. And yeah. Yeah. There's more than one person right now. There's another person I'm thinking of that I had, gave an incredible opportunity to, and that's just totally blown it. Totally blown it. Had actually got up to making 6 figures with me. And now he's scraping because he just made some bad choices. And instead of just cutting the losses and taking the hit, which might mean losing your house and just lose it, and you'll get it back 5 years from now, trying to hang on to it all, and is just drowning in it. Sometimes you just got to take the motherfucking hit and then build. That's my life experience of what worked, what I had to do. If you got another way, great. But if your other way isn't working, then might want to rethink that.
Probably find a different way.
Yeah. Yeah. What do we say about the podcast and stuff too? We need to do more of what works, and what's not working, we need to stop doing. If it's not working, quit. Stop. Do what works. Try something else. But most people just aren't willing to fail that many times and just to keep going. I do not give a fuck. Because I know that my best chance, my best opportunity is if I keep going. That once I stop, once I quit, it's done. I lock in the quit. I lock in the done. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. All right, Leah, let's do that. Do we have the food stamp fraud in Minnesota? Yeah, there. So remember when they trying to tell you that it was all bullshit? Remember when they were telling us, yeah, don't look here, that the fraud you see with daycare centers and adult,
it's all made up.
Yeah, it's not really true. There's really kids inside of there. And, Walls has been cracking down on fraud for a long time, and he's going to keep cracking down on fraud. I don't know. I don't know if Abdidawad. That's not,
okay. I thought that was
I
someone's
just
name.
fucking
Okay.
with it. It is kind of his name. Abdid Wahid is probably how it's pronounced, but
I see now.
Abdid Wahid.
Okay, gotcha.
Mohammed's plan involved a high degree of sophistication and occurred over a lengthy period of time. Let's see what happened. Authorities in Minnesota filed criminal charges against a man accused of food stamp fraud that defrauded taxpayers out of over $1 million. He was the owner of Minnesota Food Grocery, allegedly used EBT cards registered to others to purchase items at Sam's Club and Costco in 2021 before turning around and reselling them in his store. So basically,
this was during COVID too.
Yeah, he was doing what I was doing. He was paying somebody for their card.
Oh man,
to use it.
The margins must have been crazy then.
It's a lot better than 3 or 4% that they make, right? Maybe it's 8% in a carryout, right? But yeah, surveillance footage and GPS data backed this up, while investigators noted that many of the EBT cardholders were either out of the country or say they never shopped at the stores he used. But you know who else is part of the fraud? They're just going after this guy that used the cards. But what about the people that sold them?
Yeah.
Right? They have something to do with it. They're not innocent. So, yeah, more fraud. Received $1,141,000. And how many years was he doing it? For about 4 or 5? So he was doing a couple 100,000.
Oh, so he just not got caught.
Yeah, he just now got caught.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if this dude has, is it saying? Well, and that's the thing too. You know, we want to be able to help people, right? We want to help people have a safety net, and people complain that, you know, Trump's doing this or cutting that, and you know, but what about the fraud in the programs? How much is acceptable? And I think it's just gotten to a point where it's just at a very unacceptable point now. And when other people are struggling, they just don't want to hear about that. They're like, I'm struggling here. And then somebody over here is, robbing the government. You know, instead of my kid getting help, instead of me getting help with daycare for my kid, somebody else is getting money from the government, the state government, to provide daycare, and they're not. You know, I think that's, I don't know if you've seen this either, but Spencer Pratt, who is he's running for mayor of L.A. Yeah.
The guy, the video that we saw on Monday.
Yeah.
Right? Like okay, yeah.
It's so funny. It's really great because you look at it, that Democrats made this video about Spencer, and in the video at the very beginning, they show these brand new condos. And I'm telling you, they look modern. They look great. Have you've seen what buildings look like in like government housing in a city, haven't you? This plain brick buildings that
I want to say yes, but I'm gonna look it up just to verify.
Government housing, brick buildings, Toledo, Ohio, and then see if there's any picture.
Is it not meant to look very good, or?
Well, you tell me.
This is what you're referring to here?
Uh-huh.
Really? That's for government officials?
No, not government officials.
Oh, okay.
That's for people to live in.
Oh, government housing. Gotcha.
Government housing.
Gotcha.
See, that's why that one at the middle top, that's like just failed. But if you look at on the bottom left, that's what most government housing like in Toledo looks like.
Gotcha.
Just plain brick buildings, man. Just, I mean, they have a kitchen, they have a couple bedrooms, small bedrooms, right? And just very, very plain. Very, very plain.
Yeah, very very easy to just duplicate.
Yeah, and look at how they do it over and over. Look at that bottom picture there again on the left-hand side.
Just copy and paste and copy and paste. And
That's what government housing looks like. And so then you see this commercial with Spencer Pratt, and they're trying to like shame him and hammer on him. Spencer Pratt doesn't want to house the homeless people in these new buildings. Well, the fuck no. Nobody in LA does. Most people are looking at the condos in the ad and be like, fuck, I want that. Put the homeless person in my place. I want that new condo because it looked nice, man.
Yeah.
Like really, it looked upscale.
like compared to what
Like
most people
really
have
upscale.
nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah, can we find that again? The Spencer Pratt commercial? Democrat. Yeah, we got to put Democrat Spencer Pratt commercial. Because it's theirs. And like everybody's like, is this supposed to be a dig on him? Because it's not playing like that.
Oh, is it the same one we watched
I
on
think
Monday?
so.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
It looks like there might have been a few new ones, maybe.
Yeah. It's just I just wanted to show the contrast between the housing. Because it was so
Spencer Pratt.
Pratt.
Okay. I just want to double check.
Spencer Pratt, Democrat, government housing. Those would be my key words. See something like that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure that people can see.
Yeah, I think it's probably into it a little bit then. Let's just hit the play.
Let's see.
Reservoirs.
This one is his commercial, I think.
Okay, so it wasn't this one.
Yeah, this one we saw, but this is not the commercial.
I don't have to wonder anymore whether I just stepped in human shit or dog.
This is his commercial.
Nice.
We want the Democrat one that they're trying to slam him. That's why Democrat commercial attacking Spencer Pratt. And I don't even what fucking reality show was this dude on? They make a big deal out of his reality show. Like, who cares? The guy just cares about LA, really. Yeah, this is my bad. I didn't give Leo a heads up on this. I didn't know I was going to go here. Oh, yeah. Getting closer.
Here we go.
All right,
I think we got it. I think we got it.
All right, let's do it.
Hopefully this is it.
You notice something? Or here, where Nithya Raman's $3 million mansion sits. They don't have to live in the mess they've created.
Yeah, this isn't
where
it.
you live.
Because that's him. That's his commercial.
This is where I live. They let my home burn
See,
down.
it says
I know
Spencer
what the
Pratt's ad. We got to
consequences
say
of failed
Democrat
leadership
ad.
Thought I had that in the.
Yeah, it's got to be Democrat ad. Democrat ad attacking Spencer Pratt.
Hey, Sport.
All right. Well, it don't matter, I guess. Is that a clip? News clip?
Yeah, it's a news clip of someone reacting to it.
Yeah, I don't know why we. Yeah,
Just a bunch of news clips of
yeah,
people.
it should have been easier than that. Well, I'm gonna find it myself. Get rid of this. Get here.
It takes 90.
Attacking.
Not this one, is it? This one keeps popping up for some reason. Is it this one?
No.
No. A lot of AI videos.
Yeah.
Of Spencer
they
Pratt,
do
apparently. It's a very common thing.
So crazy.
Like, I'm sure like a day or two ago, it was all over your page.
I mean, yeah. Okay. My bad. I thought it would be easy, and it's not. Okay, I got one. All right. Share messages. There. I just sent it. It's inside of this one, and this one's not too long. You won't have to slide up very far. Just about 10, 15 seconds, then it shows it. Now we have all forgot what the shitholes look like.
Perfect. Let me just make sure people can see it.
Beautiful.
God. All right.
Republican Spencer Pratt is the last thing Los Angeles needs for mayor. Pratt opposes using taxpayer money to build brand new houses for our unhoused neighbors.
Yeah, take it back just a couple frames.
Those are the houses?
You don't know who I am, but you do.
Republican Spencer Pratt is the last thing Los Angeles needs for mayor.
Right there, stop.
Those are the houses that you were
for homeless people. They want. This is what they show.
I might be homeless by the end of the week.
Right?
That's how it is.
But wouldn't you look at that and be like, why the fuck are the homeless getting that house? It's better than what I live in.
I mean, that's a 2-story house.
Nobody's shitting on the fucking homeless people, but damn, millions and millions of dollars have been spent on the homeless problem in fucking L.A., in California, and it's still a fucking mess.
And if not worse.
Yes, it's worse. Yes, it's worse. That's where all the crime is. That's where the assaults are. That's where the rapes are. That's where the drug overdoses are. I mean, it's fucking bad. And people are done with it. And yet there's still a group of people that still want to vote for the bitch that went out of the country when the city was on fucking fire. I don't know where she went. Ghana? Somewhere? I don't remember if it was Ghana.
I forgot.
It was someplace. It's either Ghana or someplace like Ghana, because that's where the L.A. mayor should be. The L.A. mayor should be somewhere internationally, talking about how great she is and L.A. is. L.A. could be great. L.A. should be great.
I mean, for how massive
it really
is.
Yeah, it should. But nobody wants to look at this. I don't know whose idea thought this was a good idea. You know, housing for the homeless, and it looked like that. That doesn't look even middle level, dude. That looks upscale. That I'm talking about. That looks like condos or something people or apartments people are living in that are making $300,000 in L.A. You know what I mean?
In L.A. In L.A. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because you have to, or you're broke in
yeah,
LA.
Exactly. Yeah. No, those are
right. That's pretty
very nice houses.
Pretty nice.
I'm pretty sure those look nicer than a lot of the houses out in Gilbert and stuff like that, like the townhomes and whatnot.
Right. Well, it looks way the fuck nicer than what I showed you. What normal like government housing looks like. I mean, the idea should be able to provide as much housing for the lowest cost, right? Well, then you're not going to have it look like this if that's what you're doing.
You're not going to have a front yard.
And the reason that you have red brick is because red brick is the motherfucking cheapest of all the bricks. I don't know if you heard about this too. This is a good spot for this. The governor is doing some stupid program where he's giving away $20 million worth of diapers to new families. $20 million worth. And then somebody did the math. All right. What he's getting, he's actually spending like 50 cents and some change. So, right, let's just go with 50 cents, right? Per diaper. And there you go. You got the story. But if you went to Target yourself, or hell, if you even went to Costco, it's going to be 16 cents or less. So here's what this is the government thinking. Instead of you using your money to buy diapers, Leo, I'm going to take your money.
And then
I'm going to buy diapers. And I'm going to give it back to you. And instead of, you're only going to get one diaper for every 3 you would have gotten if you'd have done it yourself. Because 16 says that's where the math works out.
So they're just robbing people.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
Aren't they?
But they're doing it for you, so they're going to take the compensation. You know
well, sure. You got to use an NGO. I want to be the NGO, Leo. That's the thing, okay? You can even make me the head of the scam, all right? I'll take the heat for you. I want you to research NGOs, and we're gonna fucking set some bullshit up. And
allegedly.
Well, we'll provide the diapers, but we're just gonna keep the
margin,
the 35 cent difference.
Yeah, what's 35 cents?
That's the cost of, me doing business and getting a Lambo.
And if you ask me, 35 cents is pretty cheap.
Yeah.
30
yeah.
I mean, especially if you're going to say it like that.
Sure.
35 cents? That's all
35 cents, that's nothing. Fuck, dude. What the hell are we doing? See, look, would provide diaper supplies to low-income families through nonprofit organizations and community partners. I want to be a community partner.
Like, where do you sign up for that?
Yeah. But look, you get 400 free diapers. But if you got to keep your money, you could use that same amount of money that he used to buy 400 diapers. You could make even more or get more diapers. You could get 1,200 diapers. So how about this? If you're actually going to do something this stupid, instead of giving people the diapers, give them a check for what the 400 diapers would cost at 16 cents, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Then they can do it themselves, and you take out the middle guy. I mean, because that's what you're doing. You're just giving shit away. Either way.
Yeah.
But one way, you're giving shit away, and you're lining the pockets of your friends. And then this way, you're just giving shit away and just taking people's money and just giving it away because that's what Democrats do. Yeah. That's the Democrats.
They're just finding all types of ways to make some money, huh? This is not.
That's my point.
Like, what kind of program? Like, was there like a problem with people not being able to get diapers in California?
Well,
or
look,
something,
you want to help out because everything that both sides are saying now, the Democrats first, that everybody's concerned with the cost of living. Everybody's concerned with how expensive things are. So we're the government. We're going to help out. And new families are, definitely need the help with their kids. So we're gonna give diapers to them. Yeah.
Weird that, I don't know, probably not the best time to be having kids if you can't afford it, but
I don't know.
I don't have kids, so I guess I don't know.
But this kind of shit's never was the government's job. Where in the Constitution does it say the government needs to provide diapers for families? I'm just sorry. It's just dumb. But it's things like that those things keep happening over and over again. And that's why I'm not happy with the Republicans right now. Because where are the Republicans talking about less government? Where are the Republicans talking about, downsizing? You just got to kind of take a look at things from the beginning or like it was brand new. What would we fund if we were starting everything over? Everything over, what would we fund? And you have to stop when you run out of money. You have to stop when you run out of current tax money. You couldn't borrow from the future. You couldn't ask the state government or the federal government for it. You actually have to balance your budget, and you take in $40 billion. Well, you got $40 billion to spend. What are you spending it on? Just from scratch, just from today. And everything that doesn't make that list just gets the shut fuck down. There was a time when Republicans were for that. You want to kind of change things? You want to change things and make things better? Well, how we do that is stop making people rich. How are the wealthy getting rich? The wealthy are getting rich because they keep pumping money into the economy, printing money, the inflation of assets, and they own the assets. The people that are yelling about billionaires are the ones that are responsible for in 2021, 2022, and 2023. They're the ones that are fucking responsible for shifting the greatest amount of money ever to the wealthy. The greatest wealth transfer ever happened in 21, 22, and 23. As far as I know, Trump was not president when that happened. But they're the ones, Democrats are the ones saying, I just got a couple others. Well, let's do the no pay for Senate because I'm going to slam on that a little bit. So there's a couple stories here. That's one. Chuck Schumer is going to be for it. I like Senator Kennedy. He's funny as hell when he talks, and his colloquialisms. I haven't used that word in a long time.
No idea what that means either.
Yeah. Yeah.
One more time.
I know. Colloquialisms.
Colloquialisms. Yeah.
Right? See, I can sound smart if I want to, but I usually don't talk like that.
We're gonna have to start getting the word of the day going on,
right?
Because that's an interesting one for me.
Yeah.
It sounds nice. It sounds good to the ear,
doesn't it? And so he's got the little things he says that are funnier than shit, and he's put it on the table because they're not done funding government yet, and the concern is either now, again, before the November elections, or after the November elections, either way, that at some point the Democrats are going to shut the government down again. And there's a whole bunch of people that don't want to do that. Mostly Republicans and a Democrat or two. So what they've talked about, and I've said this over and over again during the shutdown, is I said, why are they getting paid? Why are the people in Washington getting paid when regular workers are not being paid? So now his bill, his proposal is for senators to not be paid during a shutdown. And so why am I not happy with that? Because, well, one, the House isn't on board yet. We haven't heard from the House. And two, do you think the millionaires in the Senate, much more than in the House, there's obviously millionaires in the House, but much more so in the Senate, right? Like if you're poor in the Senate, you're still worth a few $1 million.
Is there a reason for that? Do they just generally make more money, or is it because?
Well, look, there's fewer of them.
Gotcha.
Less
to spread.
There's 100. They carry more power. They carry more weight. They've been around longer. They're going to get bigger donations. They're higher up on the food chain.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's why. But my proposal would be, not only would the senators and the House members, all congressmen, not get paid if there was a shutdown, the staff of the politician should not get paid.
Then you'll see some changes.
Then you'll see some changes because it's going to hit them. It's going to hurt them. It's going to hurt Betty and Tom in your office. But really, can that millionaire senator, can he go a month without some checks? Yeah. You know those fuckers, you know how much they make?
Probably way too much.
I don't know. I think it's dog shit money, to be honest with you.
For what they do?
For being one of 100 people in that basically you're on the board of the biggest, most profitable country in the world, and they get $174,000 a year. That's what a senator makes. And if they're on some committees, they make $190,000. I'm just saying I wouldn't do that job for that much money. No, and they don't do that job for that much money. Okay? That's why they're all on the fucking take.
That's why they're all over here.
They're all on the take. And I can't say, well, if you pay them more, they wouldn't be on the take. I don't know if that would be true or not. Yeah. But I'm just saying that's no big deal. In fact, look this up. Let's have some fun in the last couple minutes we have here. Tell me who are the poorest, who are the bottom 5 net worth senators? Who are the bottom 5 senators in net worth?
Excuse my spelling.
It's all right.
I failed English a few times.
You're good. You don't even have to change it. It'll know what you mean. Okay. Yada, yada, yada. What?
It's not making very much over here in Minnesota.
I can't believe those bottom 5 are all under $1 million. Why do I not believe that?
It does say that the lawmark that they're
they have the ranges, but still, I would think it'd be a higher range.
And they're not required to disclose the value of their primary residence.
Okay, how about this? Add to it, of these 5 senators, what are the value of their primary residence? What is the value of their primary residence? All 500,000 plus. Well, there's 250 in Michigan. But 4 of the 5 are basically, we'll just go with 500,000. Yeah. My point's still taken. And, what is in a trust name? What is in an LLC
I was about
name?
To say, there's a lot of different ways to hide a little
what's
bit of
in
money.
the spouse's name?
There you go.
That's not being included
the
in here.
grandma, the third cousin.
I'm just telling you. There is no such thing as a poor U.S. senator. It does not happen. It does not happen. So my whole point is this. If you want this to actually have some teeth and not just be a gesture, I appreciate the gesture by Senator Kennedy, but it's not enough. It's not enough for these senators to not get paid. What needs to happen is that all congressmen do not get paid and all congressional staff do not get paid. Because when it's hitting your $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 staff member, just like it's hitting the $60,000 TSA worker, then you're gonna get some movement. You're gonna get some movement.
People are all of a sudden not gonna start showing up to work.
Yeah. And honestly, we should appreciate when the Senate, as long as it would be okay with me if they don't show up to work, as long as the workers in TSA and then the different departments are getting paid. Because at least then, services are being delivered and we don't have to worry about them doing more dumb shit. So I'd be okay with that.
People can go about their regular
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah, for sure. So I appreciate it. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. It's not enough. Thank you, Senator Kennedy. No hard feelings. I think you're awesome, but I think this is just bullshit. It's not going to matter. Y'all don't care, or not enough of you care. It's whatever works politically at all costs right now, at all costs, and it doesn't matter what the cost is. So, President, as we talked about at the very beginning, is in China. Awesome. I'll talk Friday. We went to our first game of the season for the Mercury. They lost. They're 1-2. I think they're much better than that. Hopefully they don't dig themselves a hole, right? But we could talk about that on Friday because there's another game. We'll be going to the game on Friday. And just go on with our regular bullshit.
One last question
Sure.
for you. The NBA. Did you watch any of the NBA games?
Yes.
Any thoughts on any of the games?
Sure. Hats off to Cleveland for tying things up. But honestly, I already, my prediction already is in the finals, before we get to the conference finals, in the NBA finals, it's going to be Oklahoma and the New York Knicks. And they're both so dominant right now, just so dominant. What the Knicks did to the 76ers.
Embarrassing.
Kind of.
For the 76ers.
For the 76ers.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Just totally wipe them out. And then, LeBron got swept. I don't know what to tell you.
You know what was hilarious? Dylan Brooks was courtside.
I saw that, man.
Just smiling, cheesing the
All
entire
iced
time.
out.
All iced out. Yeah, it was hilarious.
And sometimes I hope Dylan shows up. He will. He'll show
will.
up to a Mercury game here and there.
Oh, I'm sure you'll see him.
I forget which player was there last night, but one of them were there last night.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they usually attend a few games. That'll be cool. But, yeah, I mean, I'm a Laker fan, but fuck, man. Oklahoma. I don't know, man. I didn't realize that so many people hate Oklahoma.
Oh, man.
It's at another level. You would think they've won like 4 years in a row kind of hate.
They've won once.
No, they've won once, man. Y'all hating on them like they're the damn Patriots, for fuck's sake. I mean, I honestly think they're going to be. They could be a dynasty.
Unless someone or something
I don't
goes
know
horribly wrong.
How?
They're going to be around for a while, unfortunately.
Especially with the draft picks they still have that we went over. Fuck. And I'm sorry. I know people want to see the matchup, Wemby and SGA, and you'll get to see that, I think. I think you'll get to see that.
I'm actually hope that's my only hope is that the Spurs somehow pull it out of their ass and fucking.
Well, I think they could get obviously to the finals or to the conference finals, but they're just not deep enough to just
to be able to compete with OKC. The
and
bench.
I'm not saying OKC is going to sweep them, but
there's a high chance of them winning overall.
I see 4-1 maybe. I'm not going to say they're going to take them all. the Spurs can grind it out, and anything can happen on any given night. But I just think I don't have any hate for Oklahoma, so I don't really care. So my thing is, I just want to see
fuck OKC, man.
I just want to see good ball.
Just swept us too.
Yeah, and I just think they're just gonna look that the game the team that can like put up a fight is the Knicks. They're the team that can put up the fight, and I like Brunson too. He's just a cool dude. I love to see his fight last year, and he came up short, and he just seems determined. There were some spots this year I didn't know if they were really going to do it, but they pulled it together at the right time, and yeah, they're definitely looking formidable. So yeah, I'm watching that. Hockey too. We've been watching a lot of hockey. I can't believe the Sabres pulled it out last night because they were fucking shit up. And the first and second periods pretty bad. Just mistakes, leaving people wide open in front of the net, and then a lot of penalties. You cannot give the Canadians that many power plays and win. They're gonna fucking smoke you. But I'm for anybody who beats any Canadian team. That's who I'm for. I don't have my team's out. My team's been out. My team didn't get very far at all. I'm a Pittsburgh fan. So they didn't do very well. I think Carolina's really tough. They've looked really good. Yeah. And then man, the other ones have just been, even though Minnesota's down 3-1, man, they've been fighting Colorado hard.
This
hard.
I remember because my brother's really big on obviously being from Colorado.
Yeah.
He's really big into the hockey, and I think it was Saturday night, that game where they were just Colorado could not get their shit together. So
that was
I could definitely see they're a little bit extra trouble if Colorado doesn't seem to lock it up there.
Yeah. And then, I like the Vegas and Anaheim games too. I don't know why I don't like the Ducks. You know how some people, like mostly chicks, like teams because of the uniforms?
Yeah.
I don't like them. I don't like them because of the uniforms. It's not that the duck, it's not even the duck. It's just the orange color.
It is the orange one, right? Orange and like blue or whatever it is.
It's horrible. It's just horrible. But out of all that, I really think the best team left has already made it to the finals. And the Carolina Storm. They just putting all the things together, and they've been on the edge now for a while. And I think this is their year. That's my 2 cents.
Perfect. And then I did want to give you, I don't know if you want to prep for this or not.
Yeah, sure.
But I will be having you do your predictions for the World Cup.
All right.
So I know you don't know a lot about soccer. I know you know a little bit about soccer. But I just thought it would be fun because it seems to be very popular right now. So I thought we'd throw your 2 cents in there. How you think some of these countries are going to be doing?
Well, I'm actually excited for the World Cup.
Oh,
actually,
me too.
To see.
I'm super excited for this World Cup.
Yeah.
But I just thought it would be
definitely.
fun.
I just think the energy is going to be really good.
That's the best part.
And that it's just going to be the for soccer, anyways, in the United States, this is going to be the biggest deal that's happened, for soccer in the United States. And yeah, I mean, most Americans, sports fans like me that, didn't grow up with soccer like that, just don't give it enough credit. But this is definitely really big.
I honestly think there's going to be I think this is going to really benefit the United States when it comes to their international soccer. Because I think after this, the people in the U.S. are going to realize how fucking amazing it is to get behind a fucking soccer team.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to benefit the U.S. And in like 10 to 15 years from now, if the World Cup goes well, the U.S. is going to be one of those top powers, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I mean, if you can watch hockey, you can fucking watch soccer.
100%.
Okay. That's how it works. That's what I figured out.
It's quite literally the same thing, except one uses sticks. Yeah,
one uses a leg and one uses a stick. But yeah, it's the same. I mean, people watch. What's the other one? No,
pickleball. Oh, badminton.
No, not badminton. Big sticks.
Polo.
No.
Got
a net you're catching it.
Oh, gotcha. Lacrosse.
Lacrosse is the same thing, right?
It really is.
Kinda.
Yeah. Except a little more physical. Smack some people with some sticks.
Yeah, and I like that. You
better watch the fuck out.
Yeah. So, all right. That's what we got for today. We're just fucking around. That's what we do. And we appreciate you letting us fuck around. Hit that something button. Follow button. Do something. Share some shit today.
Oh, and then also make sure to go watch that Dr. Jen interview. It is up and going.
I'm posting a bunch of clips today.
It's been doing all right. So
the Dr. Jen interview is absolutely phenomenal. Having done it live and interviewing her and then watching it with Dawn the other day. I couldn't be more happier. I was all over the place sometimes, but I would eventually brought it back to whatever, took us off on that little journey, peptides, health, nutrition. It was so much. And, I'm really proud of that interview. So for my health friends out there, for my workout buddies, check it out. Dr. Jen Flager. It's, live now on YouTube. And is it on anything else too?
I did forget to upload it on Rumble, but I will go through and upload it. Not only Dr. Jen's interview, but everyone's interviews that we've had.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to start uploading those to the web or the platforms that support them. So look out for that today because that will be it might take a few hours because unfortunately, but you will eventually see all different interviews on all the different platforms. So just look out for that.
All right. We're rolling. And this is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.
Whoa! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah. Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting.